Senatus Populus Romanus. I say. Yes, indeed, centurions and wise leaders of your tribes. These letters echo from the past, and I understand that it means, I don't know what it means really. What do we say? It means Rome, perhaps. It talks about the Senate, the populace, and of course Rome together. I guess you out there, being experts, keen historical observers, could perhaps guide me to greater knowledge. Now I'm going somewhere with this, I do promise. Yes, I've been lent this by the game domain. Quite a box. Spqr the Game. 28mm-ish scale from Warlord Games. Big box set. I mean, weighty. I should start weighing these, shouldn't I? I don't. Heavy. There you go. That's the exact weight of it. It's heavy. And yeah, it's a game in a box. It's got everything you need. It's even got character models for, I think, Gauls and Romans. Now, you're going to correct me. Are you going to leap to correct me? I know you are. If I remember my old school days correctly, I think the Gauls ended up fighting with the Romans, didn't they? So you have two sides here to start with. Or do you have a whole army of these gents together that you might use in a force that you build? I don't know. You tell me. So a number of different types of troops here. We've got, classic again. I think it's a little bit of an inelegant way of describing it, perhaps. But what I would recognise as Romans with the beautiful red, resplendent uniforms and shields. Number of weapons available, though. I think the Gauls there, if indeed that's what they are, with missile troops there as well, and weapon options, as I say, and leaders. Now that's good in a box set. So many box sets, you get the basic troops. Can you make a proper army up? No, you can't, because you don't get leaders. I'm seeing more and more box sets where you can put together proper forces and really get playing. And I say that is a good thing. Let's have a look inside then, shall we? And I believe in the shop they've had a look just to make sure everything's there. So there's no cellophane on, so we're going to get straight in. Here we go, exciting. The best part, surely, of getting something new is the opening of the box. Let's see, very importantly, if we have, yes, new box smell. It's still there, don't worry, legionnaires and tribespeople. The aroma of battle is still there, I assure you. And as we delve in, we're met by a book, a substantial book. My finger's going down. It's still hit book. Yes, it's deep. I tell you. There we are. My goodness. All colour. I think everything is nowadays, isn't it? But nonetheless, worth noting that people have made the effort, and Warlord have. And yeah, wonderful. What a book. Now, what do we have? Do we have kind of historical? No, we've got rules so far. Rules. Lots of rules. Yeah, loads of rules. More rules. Oh, scenarios, perhaps? Scenarios, yes. I'm guessing. More rules. Very rulesy. Not bad. Crunchy. But I think it can be, because I don't think this is... if you look at the way the models are arrayed in all of the pictures, if that's apparent, it doesn't look to me like a mass combat game. This is kind of a 28mm skirmish type game. I don't know, maybe you can play with 200 miniatures on each side, but it looks to me, just on like very first look, that you can play this quite small scale if you want to. So if the rules are crunchier, that's okay, because you've got less to do, haven't you? So I don't know yet if units operate with each other, or if it's individual model movement. I'm sure that will become apparent. Obviously, I think one of the most interesting ways the Romans used to work is in teams, isn't it? In their units. So we'll see how that's represented. See if units can move together. Marvellous stuff. Yes, that looks kind of more like scenarios again. Oh, there we go. Legions, Caesar's legions, I say. So there we go. Caesarian, is that the? Is that a term? I'm not sure at all, but certainly kind of an imperial period in Roman history there. And that looks to be an army list. to me. Would you agree? I think so. So we've got the army list section as well. Nice maps. Oh, love a map. Gotta love a map, haven't you? Certainly. And yeah, we've got different Dacia and Sarmatia. Remember the Sarmatian Knights from that cool movie a couple of years ago? Don't know how historically accurate it was, but it was very fun to watch. Yeah. Ray Winston in it, was it? My memory, really. Gaul, very important, and obviously one of the armies represented in the box. So speed up a little bit. I'm sure you'll read it on your own time. I'm sure we've got other... Oh, Persia there. Persia, yeah. I say, very good. So different army lists represented. Oh, long pikes. What does that mean? Are we into the Greeks? Are we? Are we indeed? Let's have a look. Macedonia, not far off. There we go. There we go. Macedonian phalanx, perhaps. Oh, you could have the phalanx against the Roman formations, perhaps. I say. Ooh. Is the maniple, is it called? I don't know. I'm sure they used different strategies, tactics and formations through their tenure, didn't they? I'm sure they did. So there we go. Different army lists represented, which is also good. So room for expansion. And again, from my minuscule knowledge of history, troops would often fight with each other, wouldn't they? They'd make alliances and turn to each other's sides and stuff like that. So I'm sure you can agree with your opponent to have some, I don't know, your Romans with some cavalry that are auxiliary from some other nation. I don't know. Certainly would with those from Carthage, wouldn't you? Yes, definitely. So there we go. There is a substantial book. It's very impressive. Good. What else do we get? Let's go to the top of this box. We've got some sort of card mini box inside. I think that's probably to keep this heavy book from damaging the stuff underneath, and of course stopping the stuff damaging the book, which I've very unwisely started by putting the book under the box. Let's put it under my skull instead. Now, incidentally, I've got this skull. If anyone wants to name my skull, I might call him what you name him. Put your ideas in the comments. I think he's friendly, though. I don't think he's called Morg the Destroyer. I think he's a little bit cute for that, don't you? But, yeah, give me some ideas. Yeah, if you all vote for Morgy Mordface, I guess I'll go with it, won't I? But give us some ideas. So it's utilitarian in itself, but useful for gameplay too, as it's kind of a cheat sheet stroke reference guide. So helpful to me with my terrible memory, I'm sure. Good. Let's put that down there. Super. And we're in, I tell you. What should we do first? Should we go some... well, I'm excited by the sprues, so I'll go into those first. I say. Ooh, right. So bases, all the same size. So that's my immediate observation, is that the infantry seem to be on the same size base. Yeah. Warlord bases, I've seen very similar things in Conflict 47 and Bolt Action. A little lip on the outside which keeps your basing material and PVA nicely contained, so that's good. So 25 on each, 75 bases in all. A clue perhaps as to how many models we get. It's probably written on the box as well. I probably didn't need that clue. Nonetheless, being silly, I've just gone straight ahead without reading it properly. Thank you for your patience out there. So I immediately noticed some ace shields there. And lots of different weapons. Spears, love some spears, I do. That looks to be, now what would that, maybe a shield with some javelins behind, do you think? Let's have a quick look. I'm willing to go for that. I think the throwing spears, stroke javelins or spare spears, but a little bit shorter than the other spears, so I think they're for lugging at people, don't you? I think that's what they're for. Very good. This is a Celtic Sprue, it says in the print down there, made by Renedra, great firm of miniature makers there. I don't know what their link to Warlord is. I'm not an expert on such things, but I do know Renager, the name, and the quality of some of their work. So this seems to be a command sprue as well. The hint being, it says so on the sprue. So great expert I am there. Very interesting heads. I don't know if you can see those very well. The mouths open there in battle cry with their hair up. What's that? Is that their actual heads? I think so. Interesting. And then we've got banners here, like banner poles. Different designs, so you can designate different units or different armies, etc. Brilliant. There we go. Celtic command. Wonderful. Okay, let's get the rest of these sprues out. There we go. Super. More command. And yeah, the same sprue again. I'm just noticing lots of different little weapons there. So you can even have guys with daggers too. Do you think, really, in war, just a dagger? Would you go for it? Would you be brave enough? I'm sure you would, wouldn't you? I'm sure you would. Clansmen and fine clan warriors. So there we go. Yes, two command sprues. Then more Celtic warriors. These say Celtic, Gauls, Celts. I don't know the historical difference. Again, I'm sure you will guide me. And very, very similar makeup of the sprue here, except without the banner poles at the bottom. So there are more heads there and a greater diversity of heads, a greater choice of them. Very good indeed. It almost looks like the heads, with the hair up like that, almost looks like someone's holding the beheaded person and their heads like hanging underneath. That's very morbid of me, isn't it? I do apologise, watchers. I do apologise, but that's what that seems to be like to me. So I'm reassured by these more kind of corporeal, numerous noggins here. Because there seems to be more noggins than there are bodies, so I think there's enough there, maybe for this sprue and the other sprues there. Wonderful. And another repeat of the Celtic normal rank and file sprue there. Super. Then it looks like we come on to smaller sprues, no less powerful, I'm sure. The Romans, who I have thrown roughly to the floor. It's the same distribution as the Celtic sprues, in that we've got 2 command, 2 rank and file. So we'll go for one of the command sprues, if that's what that is. I believe it is. I think it is, yes. So we've got the wonderful shields. Scutum, are they called? I'm not sure. I mean, different shields were used throughout the period of Roman prevalence, so you can correct me if I'm wrong. And we've got arms with gladius, little short stabbing sword that was so effective from behind those shields. We've got spear. Is that a spear? Nay, it isn't. It is a banner pole. I say, wonderful. Smaller shields there as well. Interesting. I don't know what they're for. Maybe some sort of auxiliary troop, perhaps, or these don't look like cavalry models to me. They don't look like they would work for that. So I don't know. That's something to explore. The wonderful heads with the plumes on helms. Wonderful. What else do we have? Oh, we have some sort of, that looks to be some sort of pelt or covering or cloak. That might denote one of your officers. Do you think? Possibly? Make them stand out so you know what they are on the tabletop. And a horn or trumpet, don't you? Wonderful. So there we go. So 2 of those. And then the 2 rank and file sprues are slightly different as well, I believe. So the shields are the same again, although, interestingly, one of the shields seems to have some sort of javelin there. Is it a pilum? Is that what it's called again? Apologies for my lack of expertise. And they have the spears here. Are they the javelins? Are they the pilum again? I think possibly. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, that's a lot thinner there. I think that used to be like an iron spike, and then you have the kind of more wooden shaft up the back there, and you throw it with the iron spike first. Maybe it bend or be more penetrative. I'm not quite sure. The different theories on how they were used, I understand. But we do know that they were chucked, that they were lugged at the enemy upon approaching them, or to break up a charge perhaps, and the warrior would would carry different numbers of those. I wouldn't like to have one come towards me, would you? I certainly wouldn't. So we've got mostly kind of spear stroke, javelin, stroke pilum armed men on that sprue. So that kind of describes that sprue, I think. Again, wonderful plumed heads. Really like those. I'm no artist or artisan with the painting, but I think they're going to be fun to do, aren't they? And we've got this other one, which seems to favour the gladius a little more. There we go. I think there may be spears on it, or just the one by the shield there. In fact, so just the pilum behind the shield there, and then gladius there. Same bodies, it looks like, and similar heads as well. So there we go. Those are the Roman sprues. Shall we get the box back up and see what remains in it? Let's do that. Brilliant. Very excited so far. Oh, very important when you get something from Warlord. My goodness. Thank you to Morella. There we go, for packing our wonderful models. Decals. Super. They look like shields decals for the Roman shields. Super. Great fun. I've got a bit more confident with those as well. I'm not saying I'm going to do them. That doesn't mean I'm going to do them, but I've got a little bit more confident. Some dice. It's quite small, but I'm not a big. I've got to say, I'm not a big fan of complicated dice, mainly because I don't really see as well as some. So they're wonderful, more complicated dice, and artistic and worthy, and do buy them if people make them. But just for me personally, can't really see them very well. So I like things that have got a lot of contrast and they're simple. If you say simple, I can't even hold them up. There we go. So dice, very good. No measuring stick as such, so everyone's got a tape measure at home nowadays, haven't they? Oh, there we go. Look, decals for Celtic shields as well. Lovely. Also, are they stickers? That's quite thick. So I don't know if that's a decal or if it's a sticker. I'm going to guess at decal for the moment. Transfers away. Some sort of cards. Let's have a look. Super. Ooh. Stat cards? Yes, indeed. Statistic cards. Great. Get you playing more quickly. Superb. There you go. Centurions and druidic leaders. Yes, you'll be able to marshal your forces far more easily. Nice art as well. I do like a bit of art. That's been recognised from a distance then, it does. And then we've got, lastly, 3 further packs of models. Which one's first? Okay. Heroes for starter. That is put forward as. Ooh, lovely. He looks very Roman. And that's what I'm going to guess he is. Marvellous. Sweeping cloak. Very good. I'm going to call that a very soft plastic. You start throwing glue on that, it's going to melt quite nicely. But no need for construction there. I think, is he complete? I'm not sure. I think he is. But very expressive. Definitely. A little bit of clearing up on the shield and the sword needed there. That won't be too much of a problem. Ooh, some gent looking very competent with his bow. He's got some arrows stuck in the ground there as well, ready to pull out and use. Very interesting indeed. I'll put those back in the bag so that I don't get them mixed up as I come to put things together. So heroes, very good indeed. As I said at the beginning, I do like it when you get your character models, you can actually start up with a game proper from your starter box, because I'm still going to get up, just for you out there who are making these games, I'm still going to get extra stuff, I promise. I do love collecting things, so you don't have to hold out on us by keeping the character models out of your starters. So well done here, well done here. Now we have, let's see, luckily they look at this, actually labelling things. Look at that, wonderful. I approve. Shall I do that the right way up? Actually labelling things, there we go. I approve. Shield and heads starter. Okay. I'm going to guess because there are lots of different types, they're going to be Celtic ones. Ooh, packed for me by someone else with a signature that I can't read. But thank you for whoever that was. Yeah, I'm going to go for Celts. Especially as... Oh, look at that. That one's got a helmet with it. The spike in the top looks like a German pickle horb, doesn't it? Oh my goodness. Excellent. Very good. Head alternatives there. Wonderful. I like that. There are heads on the sprues as well, so why not? Why not have more? And as I say, Romans were apt to use auxiliaries as well, weren't they? So you can make them up any way you like, can't you? Or go fantasy. Why not go fantasy? Why not make up rules for your druid to throw lightning balls at the enemy? No, I think I've watched too many fantasy shows. Then we've got the last pack here. Archers, no less. Archers, very exciting. I do like a bit of missile fury in my games. I do like a bit of archery myself, it's got to be said. This is packed separately as well by Vaz. Thank you, Vaz. Brilliant. Archers. Oh, that's completely new models. Oh, okay. So, that's the same one that was in the bag that I just showed you with the heroes in. That's interesting. Maybe just a normal guy that got put in there. Perhaps I've just been lucky. Again, there, kind of leaning forward as he draws his bow. Again, he's got his arrows in the ground, ready for use. Ooh, this one's stalking. Obviously, a hunter, used to stalking in the woods and plains. Wonderful. And another one, stalking. Stalking forward. There's a little bit of clearing up to do, you can see. Snippers and a little bit of emery board and we'll be absolutely fine, won't we? So we get... Oh, another sculpt there. There we go. He's lofting that one into the air. Get a little bit of extra range, perhaps. That one seems to be looking for his next target. Maybe directing the others, I don't know. So different sculpts. So my guess is there's going to be two of each sculpt here because there's another one there looking. Well, there's one. He's just getting on with it. He's not waiting around. He's just there. He's in the moment. As is that one. And another one lofting. So there we go. Oops, a daisy. Obviously they're going to go on to bases. So 11 there, one in the other bag makes 12. So there we go. That's what's in the box. Should we have a go at putting some of it together? What do you think? I'm rather excited. So I don't know what the price is, but I would say you get a lot for it. I think if it's you know, 40, 50 quid, it's a good deal, I'd say, for the number of models and resources you get in it. So there we go. Let's have a go at putting some of it together. warriors risen from ancient times. There we are, the Romans. Mixture of men with their peeler ready to launch. Their command at the front. Command there, leader of the Gauls with all the men, the many, the host of clansmen, tribesmen behind them, and archers there. But I don't think they're ready yet, do you? Do you think they need a little bit of colour, perhaps? Yes, let's apply some of that, shall we? Shh, the Romans are coming. The Romans are concerned. Something seems to be going on in the henge. What are the Picts up to? I wonder. Super stuff, dozens of miniatures to paint, so it's taken me a good while, but looking great on this henge that Craig from Uncertain Scenery made for me some years ago, and a great backdrop to the time. Well, it was quite a challenge. There were lots of models to paint, and for some reason I painted every single one of them. Not well. You out there, artists and artisans, will do far better than I, as I know you will. The Romans, with their uniforms, were a little easier to approach, perhaps, as there was a method that was easily repeatable. The Picts, more varied, more diverse. But they're Gauls, aren't they? So, not a bad challenge, but a challenge nonetheless, as I tried to find a good way of approaching them, and I think we managed in the end. A lot of variation of the troops, as we saw when looking at the Sprue, so I've tried to mix it up. Although I was going to do a battle report, I've decided not to. No need for a tutorial here, because I found one that I wouldn't be able to do better, to be honest, and it's already there. So if you go and look at the Weight of Fire channel, I'll try and link it somewhere, possibly in the description. Go and have a look. Really good battle report with a kind of guide to how to play. To me, the rules seem to have kind of standard things that you might be familiar with, you know, movement, rolling to hit, etc. It just seems the equipment like spears, shields, armor, etc. give you re-rolls to make an effect, to have an effect on the outcome of your dice rolls. So I think that's how it works, but that's the very, very briefest of explanations. That go over to Weight of Fire and have a look there. There we go, SPQR for your and my enjoyment, Centurions. Do you know, after investing the time in painting them all, I might actually just buy them. I was lent these for review by Game Domain very kindly, but I actually might just go ahead and purchase. I think having lots of gents with shields and spears who are quite generic would be very useful for other campaigns and systems. Bit of Dungeons and Dragons, maybe have some gents in the background there who I could use at short notice. The Romans, I'm sure I can find a place for them too. And remember, Centurions, true honour as an officer of Rome requires that you fight on foot with the men. So get off that horse, yes? Take care, everyone. See you later.